Receive greetings from our studio. You're welcome to Prime News on My Major Prime. Thanks for being a part of today's edition of Prime News on My Major Prime, live from Douala. My name is Genda Peldrin Blanche King. The National Executive Committee of the Social Democratic Front, SDF political party, has dismissed the case between the party's Vice National Chairman, Honorable Joshua Osi, and Littoral Regional President, Honorable Jean-Michel Ninche. This was during the NEC meeting which took place recently in Yaoundé. Details of this story with Fonquinta in the following report.
The highest deliberative organ of the Social Democratic Front political party, NEC, has dismissed a disciplinary file on the application of the party's Article 8.2 expulsion clause by the Littoral Regional President, Honorable Jean-Michel Ninche. The National Executive Committee meeting in Yaoundé over the weekend dismissed the case between Honorable Joshua Osi, Vice Chairman of the party, and Honorable Jean-Michel Ninche of the Littoral branch. Speaking after Saturday NEC meeting in Yaoundé, Honorable Joshua Osi says,
There was never an issue with Honorable Ninche. Honorable Ninche was playing his role as chairman for the Littoral region, so he was more of a spokesperson rather than of a decision taken by the Littoral. The party followed the constitution. The constitution of the party was strictly adhered to, and explanations had to be given, and at the end of the day,
Honorable Joshua Osi was accused of having attended the swearing ceremony of President-elect in November, jointly signing a petition with a group of MPs mostly led by the ruling CPDM, calling on Congress to refrain from interfering in Cameroon's affairs. The decision to rule out the execution of the said article on Joshua Osi for anti-party activities was taken during a meeting of the party's highest deliberative organ, the National Executive Committee, chaired by Nijan Furundi.
Personally, happy that the decision was taken yesterday in the interest of the party, and happy that I can continue to serve this party as I've always done, and continue to serve social democracy.
It should be recalled that Osi's fate was placed in a balance after the legal department of the party was given the go-ahead to investigate and present findings in the accusations levied against him by the Littoral branch. Honorable Ninche, who was championing the dismissal of Honorable Joshua Osi, expressed dissatisfaction after NEC said they would not use Article 8.2 on Osi, whom he says has permanently damaged the image of the party.
The national president of the Patriotic and Republican Alliance, APAR political party, Celestine Germain, has called on Cameroonians to rely behind him for a better Cameroon in the future. He was speaking over the weekend in Douala during a rally organized to present officials of his newly legalized political party. Lasha Kinsley reports.
The Patriotic and Republican Alliance APAR party of Celestine Germain has presented the party's officials a manifesto to the public. This was during a rally on Saturday, June 13, 2021 at École Publique New Deido in Douala. APAR national president used the occasion to rekindle hope in Cameroonians as he urged them to continue believing in their country.
Tomorrow will be the best for the Cameroon. We will go to election in 4 years now, 4 years, because we need to give to the Cameroonian the expression of our patriotism. We want to express them our will to build a new Cameroon. We think that we are a builders of the future. The future is in front of us, and so it's come to time to launch a call to other countrymen, to other Cameroonians, that together will be very strong.
Celestine Germain called on all Cameroonians to rally their forces behind him and fight for a better Cameroon.
I call to all Cameroonians to join their hands together, to struggle together, to fight together, to go to jail together if necessary, and by all means necessary to fight in a way to bring the Cameroon country on the better rank. And I'm very proud of my countrymen because their determination, because their will to join the hand together is over us. And I think that we need tomorrow to have a brighter days.
The Patriotic and Republican Alliance Party, legalized April 6, 2021, alongside 10 other political parties, was launched in Douala on April 21, 2021 by the national president, Celestine Germain, after his resignation from the MRC party.
According to updates from Germain Institute, all the students who were not registered for this year's GCE examinations have duly been registered by the GCE board. It was announced by the institute on the 9th of June 2021 that some students were not duly registered or officially registered by the GCE board because the Dean of Studies of that institution made away with the money allocated for that. They were expected to write the examinations. Unfortunately, the Dean of Studies is nowhere to be found. Results or authorities from Germain say everything is now under control and the students will take part in the 2021 GCE examinations. Details in the following report.
It is 1 week since Germain Comprehensive Secondary Institute announced the Dean of Studies was nowhere to be found and some students were not officially registered as candidates for the 2021 session of the GCE examinations. A total of about 5 administrators paid an emergency visit to the GCE board in Boya, and according to the discipline master of Germain, the visit was fruitful.
All the children who were officially registered as students of Germain are going to write the GCE session 2021 without any difficulties. All the children have been registered. All the children have been registered. Any student who is a student of Germain Institute has been registered for the GCE. I don't want to give you the exact number, but all of them have been registered. I don't think I will be well placed to confirm. When you meet the students themselves, they will tell you.
All students in examination classes have been duly registered and their official writing documents handed to them. The 3 science students who could not take part in chemistry practicals, which was done on the 7th of June 2021, finally sat in for their practical on Friday, June 11, 2021.
It happened that we never registered to the GCE and we never took part. Chemistry was supposed to go on Tuesday, but I would like to thank the teachers and the founder who took part, the proprietor who took part in our problem and resolved it, and we finally wrote it on Friday.
I wasn't having a timetable, but thanks to the proprietor, now I have a timetable and I'm just waiting for the 29 now to write.
One candidate who has stopped classes says second term for reasons not known by the institution is the lone candidate who is still to collect her timetable from the school. School authorities say all is in order and they are doing final works to boost the morale of their students to ensure successful results, extending heartfelt appreciations to parents and guardians for patience and the GCE board for timely intervention.
Students and staff of St. Louis University Institute, Bonaberi, Douala have been drilled on some necessary educational logistics support tools needed to enable them easily acquire knowledge during the teaching and learning process. Speaking during the event were facilitators from the United States Embassy in Yaoundé, who also congratulated the proprietor and CEO of the institution for his works in promoting education in Cameroon. Dolin Gonde reports.
Neatly dressed and spaciously seated in their numbers, these are the staff and students of the St. Louis University Institute Bonaberi Douala, receiving a life transformatory mindset session while complying to all anti-COVID-19 barrier measures. Drilled mainly on the various educational logistics support tools by these representatives from the Cultural Affairs Office of the United States Embassy in Yaoundé, the proprietor and chief executive officer officer of the St. Louis University Institute, Dr. Nick Nwanyam, says,
they came to give the students the tools that they can use to be able to, benefit from what the U.S. has got to do to tap into all of that.
From the various opportunities the embassy offers, such as the Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI, plus the numerous digital platforms disclosed to the students to enable them in further knowledge acquisition and lots more, this session has left the participants craving for more.
We are looking for opportunities like this, but haven't gotten accurate resources to get such opportunities. But now, with the help of the U.S. Embassy giving us the various means for which we can get these resources, is really a blessing to us.
Most of us are looking for a way to build up our CV, our educational career, YC on the process of going to school. So this platform has opened our mind to at least gain 3 other certificates YC on school, and has encouraged us and the younger ones who has to come that it's not all about going to school and achieving a degree, but also working alongside other degree programs which are out of the field. That is helps us to think out of the box.
With every question answered appropriately, the students have also been urged to be intentional with their time spent on social media for educative purposes.
Most often we know that we use internet for false things which are not important, but I think from what we got here today, I will be able to make good use of the internet.
After the 2-hour Mindset Transformatory series, Dr. Nick Nwanyam was also recognized by the embassy as one with a long-standing record of enhancing personal and communal development. Thus, this huge consignment of books was offered him to enable a boost in the school's library capacity.
It's a great honor for us to be able to have the U.S. Embassy with us.
Moved by this kind gesture, the benefiting host also ushered the facilitators around the entire St. Louis University Institute campus, Bonaberry, to call it a day.
Members of the Christian Women Fellowship, CWF, drawn from the Mungo Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, have joined their peers worldwide to celebrate their Diamond Jubilee. During the event, which also paved way for the conclusion of their 2-day annual rally, the women were urged to cast their burdens to God as the Bible states. Darling Gonde reports.
Gathered here are more than a score groups of the Christian Women Fellowship drawn from the Mungo Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, jubilating in chants of songs as they join their peers nation and worldwide to celebrate their Diamond Jubilee. Since 1961, when the CWF saw the Day of Light, the movement has achieved a lot and continues to play indilutable roles in the growth of its members, the church, and the society at large.
The CWF of the PCC is a very powerful arm of evangelism of the church.
Celebrating during a crisis-hit era as now, the host pastor, Reverend Kang Davis, on behalf of the College of Pastors in attendance, has acknowledged the worth of the CWF while calling on the women to be ever more resilient in their daily strides.
The women should be encouraged. They have taken over this movement from their mothers, and we pray that these women should hold this movement so firmly and so that they can be able to hand over even a better CWF to their children.
Still during the event, activities to crown their 2-day annual rally celebrated under the theme "Cast your burdens unto the Lord, for He cares," drawn from 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7, have also been witnessed.
It is a wonderful thing to celebrate 60 years. These women have done so much for the church, and so we call them the backbone of PCC.
It is 60 years, and according to the Presbytery President for the Mungo Presbytery, the women are not just diamond by name.
Be a diamond woman, you are no longer a child. We are very, very happy and contented that God has done it for us. Today we roll all our burdens to Him because He is our burden bearer.
Chief Ada Casey is also a member of the CWF and now affirms how impactful the movement has been in 60 years.
Through the CWF, many women have been very enlightened. There's a lot of awareness in the church. The women have been at the forefront of the church, ensuring that the church move forward. For instance, education. taking care of children, taking care of their husbands. They were all trained in all these aspects.
60 years of existence, the CWF continues to strive more in evangelism and also the socio-economic empowerment of not only its members, but all.
You're watching Prime News on My Major Prime. The International Day Against Child Labour was celebrated over the weekend, that's on Saturday, in and out of Cameroon under the theme Act Now End Child Labour. And statistics reveal that over 70% of the world's 168 million child labourers are between the ages of 5 and 14, insinuating that the phenomenon is gaining grounds across countries in the world. Eileen Sama reports.
Observed every 12th June around the world, the International Day Against Child Labour aims to spread awareness about the illegal practice that still prevails till date, with an objective to completely eradicate it globally. The significant day was first observed in 2002 by the International Labour Organization, ILO, under the United Nations. However, the progress that was brought up in the past for World Day Against Child Labour before the COVID pandemic has dropped drastically. But what is actually referred to as child labour most often than not is not known by defaulters. Stephanie Wirba-Kininla is a child protection officer with the Baptist Hospital Mbopi, Douala.
Child labour can be defined as any work performed by children or adolescents. However, jobs that are limited to helping parents around the house and then trying to get some little activity to do to be paid after school hours or during holiday is not considered as child labor. The concept of child labor encompasses activities that deprive children of their education, their physical health, their mental or developmental health.
She further explains the dangers involved in child labor.
The phenomenon is particularly gaining grounds where children roam streets in Cameroon. They sow hand fields in search for iron sites. They look for metals. These children are exposed to a variety of dangers. Some of these children have no shoes to wear. Some of them wounds that are untreated. They pick up this iron and they have someone who is going to help them weigh it. And this person pays the money according to what he thinks he can give them, not proportionate to the stress and the constraints they have gone through to be able to get this iron and bring for weighing. Besides the fact that these children collect metals, particularly boys, girls are equally involved in activities. For example, like selling oranges, a customer will invite them to come to their homes. Maybe he wants to buy plenty of it and he doesn't have money. Unfortunately for the girl child, when you enter this man's house, he will promise to buy everything. He will even attempt to rape you, or some girls come out of there even raped.
She also highlighted that within the African content, parents encourage the concept.
Parents are aware of the activities carried out by their children when it comes to the context of child labor. But in the context of extreme poverty, they encourage them to do so that they can earn a living nonetheless.
The child protection expert reiterated government's efforts at stopping the ill, but noted that it is fighting against what is considered a culturally accepted practice, making it extremely difficult to be eradicated.
Today is World Blood Donor Day, celebrated annually every 14th of June since 2005 to raise awareness on the need to save blood and blood products. It is equally a day to appreciate blood donors for their efforts in preserving the lives of people around the world. Bokengu Kemya reports.
Blood is a body fluid that provides nutrients and oxygen to the body cells and is needed regularly for patients with diseases such as anemia, hemophilia, thalassemia, as well as for treatments of injury after an accident and surgeries.
Make access to safe blood is a reality for everyone in need, especially children suffering from severe anemia, patients with thalassemia, and victims of trauma due to armed conflicts. emergencies and accidents.
According to the World Health Organization, though an estimated 118.4 million blood donations are collected worldwide yearly, many are still in lack.
We are marking World Blood Donor Day this year during the COVID-19 pandemic. The campaign focuses on the contribution each blood donor makes to improve health for others in their community, especially during public emergencies and outbreaks.
Worthy of note is the fact that blood donation critically depends on the patient and their blood type. This fact for pregnant women is much more severe as compared to other blood sufferers, especially amid the pandemic.
Safe blood is critical to save millions of lives. It's vital for treating women suffering from bleeding associated with pregnancy and childbirth. The current COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need for safe and accessible blood and blood products. But while the need for safe blood is universal, access remains the privilege of a few.
Following this year's theme for World Blood Donors Day, Give Blood and Keep the World Beating, it is important to applaud the essential contributions blood donors, volunteer and unpaid blood donors make to keeping the world pulsating by saving lives and improving others' health. Healthy blood saves life.
Strength beyond all odds is the theme of this year's International Albinism Awareness Day, bringing to note the fact that people with albinism face multiple forms of discrimination worldwide, and it is still profoundly misunderstood socially and medically. According to United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, this is a major concern for everyone in the world. Nora Kakebi reports.
June 13th every year is observed by the United Nations as the International Albinism Awareness Day. The theme for this year's celebration is Strength Beyond All Odds. According to the global body, the theme was chosen to highlight the achievements of people with albinism around the world and also to show that people with albinism can defy all odds. The theme was equally chosen to celebrate how people with albinism worldwide meet and exceed expectations in all domains of life and encourage everyone during this time of a global pandemic to join the global effort to build back better.
On International Albinism Awareness Day, I reiterate my solidarity with persons with albinism. This year's theme is Strengthened Beyond All Odds. It reflects the resilience, perseverance and achievements of people with albinism in the face of pervasive misconceptions, discrimination and violence. Despite these obstacles to well-being and security, leaders of organizations representing persons with albinism continue to work hard to support the most vulnerable. I'm encouraged that persons with albinism are increasingly taking their rightful place in decision-making platforms around the world, leading to meaningful commitments, such as the Plan of Action on Albinism in Africa.
Albinism is much more common in sub-Saharan Africa, where the biggest albino people community can be found and still face discrimination and challenges.
Everywhere you go, you just attract attention. Everyone has to look back. Who's that? How does she look like? Is she human? You know. So that's our main challenge.
Dr. Isaac Muara also shares his experience.
My fellow Africans, Africa faced slavery for a very long time. That means we need to be more compassionate. We need to be the ones who feel that essence of discrimination. How comes we are the first to discriminate our very own children, our own fathers, mothers, sons and daughters with albinism? Color should mean more to us. We must break the jinx of superstition and capitalistic greed and embrace hard work.
Fueled by beliefs in witchcraft and superstition, exclusions and harmful practices continue to this day. It should be noted that albinism is a rare genetically inherited condition present at birth, which is non-contagious. For albinism to be passed on, both parents must carry the gene, even if they do not have the condition.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News. See you tomorrow at 6:30 for another edition of Prime News on My Major Prime. My name is Genda Belgium Blanche King. Faith Tata Berenier coordinated the news, produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga. See you tomorrow. Stay tuned to My Major Prime. Prime Hour will be live with Kum Lunat. Happy viewing and good night.